Thank you so much. My name is Titania Face. I'm the queen that'll make you feel, make your dad squeal. I wax poetic, just not my body hair. And yeah, I started doing drag on Valentine's Day 2020, right before the world shut down. I didn't know that would happen. And I wanted to stand out by doing one of my first loves, which was poetry, and take people on that journey and connect to audiences in that way. So you get to know the artist as well as the canvas underneath. And so I found that poetry was my way of making my way through really dark things and dark, muddled past. And it allowed me to become more in touch with my emotions and connecting with people on a more authentic level and not presenting in a way that I needed the validation from anybody. So without further ado, from this queer Latinx Italian spice Jew, this one is called The Poison and the Antidote. When I closed my eyes to dream of butterfly kisses, I woke up to the pricks of pine needles and bee stings. Yellow jackets stuck out like red flags, poison injected without warning. A lit cigarette to the forearm, bringing passive blood to a boil, and I love yous. A ball and chain turned cinder block, kissing ocean, used to smother my rambunctious imagination that fought to conjure a more handsome face and a man with less body odor. Eyes locked on an exit through a beaded curtain, wishing the TV was turned on to drown out the noise of resentment. Numb despite prodding, rigor mortis-like tension, paralyzing limbs that stiffen because someone's sun glares too brightly out of hating himself and his parents, who never taught him how to love gently, delicately, intricately. One setting, a janky apartment with the smell of incense, being choked lovingly by the smell of loneliness, depression, and weed rolled up into one blunt edge. The other setting, a salt of the earth man whose decorative flower arrangements melt and dry away from the taste of vodka funneled into Poland Spring bottles. Shadows in low lamp light signify the melancholy stature of oxygen tanks. They stand near the couch watching over him like club bouncers and highly paid security guards. I retreat to the other apartment where I worship the dollar store version of Lenny Kravitz as his deep kisses pay my body in lust, undressing me as I lay in the warm sunlight on his bed, waiting for him to take a hit from his bong and a hint that I never signed up to be his homebody. In silence, he puts on his TV, running through options as I run through apartment hallways in my mind that I should be home kissing the forehead of my father, who coughs up a tumor resembling a baby jellyfish, but I think of the oxygen tanks. So I shut up and deflate with the idea my boyfriend needs me here, where my proximity is comfort for his anxiety. He chooses Noah's Ark. Not some Bible story, but a boat I'd like to be on, featuring a writer, a feminine gay lead, a proud POC who walks to the beat of a hopeful romantic heart. I saw myself in this show. Chocolate and caramel, eye candy, and gay love, never seen as a crutch to promote diversity to an ignorant audience. The storyline, not the straight and narrow that movies shoved down my throat throughout my childhood, wishing I was normal, maybe a woman, so my lifestyle isn't left jaded and playing sassy second banana to a dumb bitch who makes dumb decisions. Primary characters in bold primary colors, unafraid of who they are. They may refract, but never break. Fast forward 8 years, my own warm bed with my father's ashes in the same room where the oxygen tanks once stood, but there's no angsty boyfriend tickling my lungs with smoke that never even asked if I liked to be tickled in the first place. Late nights cruising Noah's Ark, knowing exactly where it's going, soothing pangs of quarantine loneliness with tears that hug me and promote hope that love is tender. Love is kind. Love is attainable. Love is quiet. Love is free. Love is home. How can an ex-boyfriend? How can a college classmate? How can the mysterious, handsome new guy that even girls were fawning over? How can a selective revolving door closet case, a homophobic homosexual, how can a rapist be responsible for writing lifelong prescriptions for the antidote to that you're unlovable, you're untouchable, you're damaged goods feeling? Queer representation on a screen where being and existing isn't the tragedy, it's the remedy. That gift of a show has been the flashlight for the darkness he pushed me into. The hand that caressed my palms, even when I felt too sweaty or squeezed too tight out of anxiousness from walking on eggshells. The companion that would never walk ahead of me but strut aligned in time with my fabulous footsteps. With blinders on to what the world thinks when I talk with excited, painted, animated hands. That show is somehow a hype man that makes my voice feel confident in every timbre of its consciousness. The morning butter pecan iced coffee fantasy, projecting my desires for reciprocal love. A Carrie Bradshaw with less white privilege. A passionate hunger like a Blanche Devereaux, only less old and less southern country fried, because I stay repping Brooklyn, so Big Daddy is the username for the man who I met off a Grindr, who wants to blow my back out on a day off from work, my legs spread like grape jelly on an English muffin, but in a wholesome way. Similarly, it's the Disney movie rewinding and replaying tapes of true love in my imagination until the film burns out and etches into my mind's eye the day my prince finds me cozy but slightly jaded in reality. And let it be known that this ex-boyfriend labeled softy, embarrassingly effeminate, overtly affectionate, touchy-feely, emotionally suffocating, too texty and chatty, too nice to people, too social butterfly flirty with baristas. Ass ain't all that, I beg to motherfucking differ. Safety net for when the dick wet hoe phase is over, take his ass to mom's, stepping stone relationship, distressed damsel, never needed saving. Let me just say that this show provided the future wedding song I never knew would make my feet glide and the wings on my back and the twinkle in my toes relax. 'Cause of you are home, 'cause of you are, 'cause of you are home to me. Tears will fall on my future husband's shoulder and trickle onto his warrior yet teddy bear-like chest I would bury my face into. My body hated this troubled guy that tried to destroy it, but won this television show in a custody battle no one showed up to. A show intended to be background noise, but became a heartbeat and an anthem. Picked up my clothes off that unswept bedroom floor and found refuge in a fictional world that inspired me to paint vibrantly and remodel from the ground up. The memories are dark, but my vision is warm. Thank you. I promise I'll go a little bit lighter for this next one. But I will say that's what I feel this 2023 into 2024 has been, is leaving behind but acknowledging that darkness so I can focus on gratitude. And I wrote this next poem called The Light Through the Window, and it's about my mom, and shout out to my mom for being here tonight. She has seen me scantily clad, she's seen me a little more glamorous like this, maybe not looking like Daphne from Scooby-Doo all the time, but she's definitely been a huge rock and a support system every step of the way. Since I started acting when I am four. Still, that child I guess is still inside, right? But this poem is called The Light Through the Window, and this one's for her.